Okie dokie, here we go. This is my opinion on Hardball, a kinky, sexy, dirty standalone by C.D. Rice. Alright, here we go. So, synopsis time. The book starts out with our heroine, Vivian, taking a bunch of underprivileged kids to a baseball signing with the LA Dodgers. And she is also a baseball fan. She's got a ball that she's trying to get signed for her dad, and she ends up meeting Dash, who is the superstar shortstop of the team. They have their little tete-a-tete moment, and then she leaves, and a couple of days later he turns up at her work at the school that she works at. She's the librarian, and he tells her that his glove was stolen and one of her kids is possibly a suspect. And you find out that it's not really about the glove, that there is a pin inside the glove that was given to him by his late sister, and it's a lucky charm. So he wants the glove back just to get the pin. That's the beginning of their relationship. That's how they meet. So, as things go on, you find out that all of Dash's luck is basically falling apart. All of his good luck charms are dissolving around him, and he's kind of panicking because he needs to get that luck back together before the opening of the season. Because, yeah, baseball players are superstitious as hell. So, he decides he's got the hots for Vivian, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna have a relationship. I'm gonna start something with her because he's usually doesn't have a girl in LA because that's his home base and he's not for the clingy girlfriends. But he decides to take a risk on it anyway. They form a relationship, and at first he's like, this is only gonna go till I have to leave for spring training, and then we're done. She tells him no, that she's not going to do a relationship that's got a time limit on it. So he ends up conceding that point because he wants to be with her or just bang her. Not entirely clear at this point. So they end up forming a relationship, but Dash is kind of still like, I'm probably going to dump her when I go for spring training. So they go through the relationship, blah, 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 and Dash is kind of starting to freak out because he's got to get his luck back. And one of his things is that he's got a different chick in every city that he goes to bang. So he thinks he can't have a relationship with Vivian and keep up his sleeping around because she would not be cool with that. And so they end up breaking up, and he can go to spring training. He goes to spring training. He almost hooks up with the girl that he usually does at spring training, but then stops himself because he realizes that he's in love with Vivian and he wants to get her back. So he comes back, they meet up, and they agree to basically give their relationship another chance. They start forming new luck traditions, which, yes, some of them are kind of kinky. And then he's like, I want you with me. I want you to travel with me. Just come with me to all my games. And she's like, no, I have my job. I have my career. I'm my dad. I'm not just going to leave. And he proposes marriage to her, and she shoots him down, but they're still going to be together. Things continue on. She's trying to get to one of his games when one of her students sleeps in her library, and the little girl ends up being in a diabetic coma, so she has to rush her to the hospital to make sure she's okay. And during that, Dash starts freaking out because Vivian isn't there, but he's not freaking out because she isn't there because she's his lucky charm, but because he's genuinely worried about her because she wouldn't just bail. Like, if she says she's gonna be somewhere, she's gonna be there. So he starts panicking, and he ends up getting hurt during the game, but it turns out it's okay. His arm ends up getting better, all good, but he understands how close he came because, yeah, you're a professional athlete. Career-ending injuries are a real thing. But he ends up getting better, it's all good. LA Dodgers end up going to the World Series, and then Dash proposes to her during one of the games for the World Series. Woohoo, happily ever after, there we go. So, with this book, I didn't love it and I didn't hate it. I mean, in the end, this book is just really about two people dealing with life and relationships, and one of them happens to be a professional baseball player. As far as the characters go, Vivian was alright. I mean, she's kind of a slightly more shy librarian type who loves romance novels. Not gonna lie, I kind of felt like it was pretty self-inserty for the reader, but it wasn't egregious, but I kind of felt that a little bit. Dash, he's kind of a prick, I'm not gonna lie. And one of the biggest things that rubbed me the wrong way about him is when it comes to Vivian, he's very, she's mine, I'm going to make her mine, you're mine. And I was like, stop, that's not attractive. Because it didn't feel like the playful I'm yours, you're mine sort of thing. It felt too possessive, and I was like, ugh. But when it came to Vivian laying down the rules on things, like that she said, she wasn't going to be with him, she wasn't going to marry him just because she's his lucky charm, he respected that and he didn't push on it, which I kind of liked. Yeah, that was like his big saving moment was when he tried to push her past her comfort zones and she said no, and he actually stopped and was like, okay. That was the one thing that saved it for me. um yeah, I didn't hate it and I just didn't really love it either. There were also a few things with this. It's a split perspective. It does lean more heavily towards Vivian than Dash. Not as egregious as some of the other ones, but not terrible. There were a few points, again, I did listen to the audiobook for this, where scenes were told like with flashbacks, and in the audiobook it was a little confusing at certain points. I was like, wait, this is, it took me a second to realize it was a flashback. Like I actually rewound it a couple, like at certain points of like, wait, did I miss something? So I didn't know if there's something physically in the book where it's like a triple asterisk sort of thing of like flashback. But that was one of the things, listening to the audiobook, it was a little confusing. uh so yeah, if this sounds like it's your thing, great. It, again, I give this like a 2.5 to a 2.75 out of 5. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was very okay. This is very heavy on the sex. Please reference the subtitle of this book. So, yeah, there's that, so going into it. Yeah, didn't love it, didn't hate it, but hey, that's just my opinion. If you disagree with me, that's totally cool. Leave your comments down below if there's something you'd like to see me take a crack at in the future. Next up is going to be the selection for my next 3, and if you've been listening to my other reviews, you know what 2 of them are going to be, so I am going to go now and pick out my 3rd one, and I will talk to you guys in a little while.